Watkins, and welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Now, I want to say hello to everybody that's coming into the chat. Come on in because we have a really important conversation that I want to share with you today. It has to do with this thing called NFTs. NFTs stand for non-fungible tokens. And my special guest today is a visionary in many, many ways, and he is going to talk us through some of this in terms of how artists are using or peeping out NFTs as a way to monetize their art. So today, everybody, as you come into the chat, give a digital welcome to Mr. Jay Ortiz. Jay is out of Philadelphia. He's the CEO and founder of Art from the Heart. He owns an art, if I'm not mistaken, Art from the Heart Studios, right? Is that correct?
Yes. So we have what we're here to talk about today is the soft opening of our art gallery. We already have the recording studio, but now we're adding to our art conglomerate. So yes, the art gallery will be open on June 20th.
Awesome. All right. And so everybody coming in, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Today, we're going to talk about Black folks that want to be better, smarter, and get ahead of the curve and want to figure out how this money thing works. And so everybody put your B1 in the chat, put a B1 if you agree that the Black community needs to come first, if you agree that we need to be at the top of our priority list, if you agree that being Black and intelligent is also similar to being Black and beautiful, put a hashtag B and the number 1 in the chat. If you have not done that yet, please do that. All right, so let's jump in. Let me ask everybody, give me a yes or no. Yes or no. How many of you have heard of NFTs? How many of you have heard of NFTs, aka non-fungible tokens? Give me a yes or no in the chat if you've heard of NFTs on any level. Do you know what they are? If you've just heard people talking about it, because this apparently appears to be the next trend in digital technology. They're being built on the Ethereum network, if I'm not mistaken. And our guest today, Mr. Jay Ortiz, who's a hip hop artist, visionary, and entrepreneur out of Philadelphia, has a big plan on NFTs. And he's actually going to host one of the first ever NFT art shows. And so, first of all, I want to welcome Jay. How you doing today, man?
I'm awesome. I'm feeling as good as I can feel. You know what I'm saying? Amazing with a capital A.
Cool. Great. So, when you talk about NFTs, I'll give kind of my interpretation of NFTs, but I'd like to hear yours in terms of what you're seeing here in terms of NFTs being used for art. Why would an artist pay attention to NFTs?
So I'm not gonna sit here and I'm gonna start off up front. I'm not gonna portray like I'm the most well-versed guy at NFTs because I am not, right? But I do know a little something. And I would say artists, a reason for you to be or a reason an NFT would be attractive to an artist is because a lot of times artists they'll sell their art, right? And when you die or when something gets popular, you become this, this large artist, but your family or whatever you have left on this earth does not really get to receive a percentage of that money. With NFTs, it changes, right? And I would say why, right? So for instance, one of the artists that we're using, a guy by the name of Zevy G. If Zevy sells a piece, right, and he sells it as an NFT, he will always keep I think it's about 10% that you always keep. But now when the person that bought it from Zevy resells it, right, for $1 million after Zevy G dies, right, in 100 years of how it goes, now Zevy's family, his estate still has 10% of that value, right? As opposed to and I'm gonna give people an example, Basquiat, right? His paintings are selling for $100 million right now, but his family receives none of that. Right. So with the NFT, if I'm ahead of the curve and if this is the future, it will stop all of those things. So people like a Basquiat will get his roses no matter if it takes to when he's dead. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is the real attraction because then it's like no matter what, no matter how big you get, no matter what happens in the future, you'll always maintain a piece of your art. And I think that's important for all artists. It's like having royalties in music. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everybody who just came in, we're talking about NFTs, and this is Jay Ortiz. He's the CEO and founder of Art from the Heart, which is also Art from the Heart Studios. And we're talking about how different artists are starting to use NFTs. Mr. Asset Hoarder says that NFTs are the future, which I actually agree with you. NFTs, I'm going to read some of this to you guys in terms of telling you guys what NFTs are. and why NFTs are something you want to pay attention to. From what I understand, it's beginning on the Ethereum network. Ethereum is this is one reason why I'm a big investor in Ethereum, because the Ethereum network, from my view, is a launching pad for a lot of great innovative technology. So according to The Verge, it says NFTs, here's an article called NFTs Explained. They said there's nothing like an explosion of blockchain news to leave you thinking, what's going on here? That's the feeling I've experienced while reading about Grimes the cat getting millions of dollars for NFTs, etc. And so what is an NFT? It says NFT stands for non-fungible token. So non-fungible basically is saying non-replaceable, that you have authenticity. It's an original, right? And that's really important in art, right, Jay? I mean, if you're talking about a painting, you can have two paintings that are equal quality, of the same image, and one's the original and one is the fake. And the original can be worth $10 million and the fake can be worth nothing. So it almost seems to me with NFTs that non-fungibility, if you want to call it that authenticity is what gives it its value, because people always want to have the original, right? And so this is a digital way of saying this is the original. And what I like about it too, man, is that it can be applied to anything, not just a painting. It can be applied to music. It can be applied to a tweet. The NBA, did you know this, man? The NBA is actually selling clips of great like slam dunks and stuff as NFTs and making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You hear about that?
I didn't, but do you see why we're having this conversation, Doc? I know it's money to be made, and I want parts. I know it's money to be made on these things, because if the NBA is doing it, we could be selling Dr. Boy's clips. You say so many great things, so many things that are knowledgeable. We could sell a 30-second Dr. Boy's clip of something you said that, right? And come on, sell it for $100,000. Why not?
Well, I might not sell an NFT. I might sell an NFG. No fucks given. How about that? I think that's what I'm gonna sell, an NFG, not an NFT. But but in all seriousness, though, that's a good point. I mean, you're right. I mean, now that I think about it, I've made probably 10,000 videos on different topics, on a wide range of issues, and who knows, maybe I could dig into the NFT market. But
we'll talk about that. Yeah, we can't give them all that game, but yeah, let's do it. That would be pretty dope, actually.
Yeah, and you're hosting a conference on NFTs for artists that want to make money from NFTs.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that conference? Because I want everybody to know about it. It's in Philadelphia. Can you give dates and locations and ways people can find out more about it?
Yes. So really quickly, guys, if you are watching right now, you can follow us at Art from the Heart, right? That's ARTFRM the Heart. You can follow me at Jay Ortiz 215. But if you go on Art from the Heart's bio, we have a link tree in there. In that link tree, it has all the links for all of our shows, right? So for this upcoming soft art gallery opening, the first day will be Sunday, June 20th, okay? And that'll be from 4:56 to 8:56, a 4-hour event, okay? Every day after.
Wait. You said 4:56 to 8:56? Why 4:56?
So Zevi, anybody that's not familiar with Zevi G, his land, he calls his world or his virtual world the 456 land. So we thought it would make sense to start at 456. I'm not going to speak on to why he calls it the 456 land. I'm gonna let y'all come to the event and let him, elaborate on his own creations. But it is the 456 land. All I am is I'm the one presenting it, right? Zevi G is the actual artist himself. All right. So with that being said, Sunday will be the grand opening. All types of music and just the experience. You can come in here and check out all the NFTs. Right behind me right now will be a bunch of different TV screens, different projector screens, everything set up so that each one will have a different art piece on it. This space behind us will look completely different. Tuesday, am I correct, Doc? The 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday the 22nd, I have the gracious, just appreciation to be bringing Dr. Boyce to Philadelphia. All right, June 22nd, I'll have a panel discussion about NFTs and ways that artists can make artists can make money off their NFTs. So with that being said, I'll have Dr. Boyce there. We'll have Zevi G Art there, the artist who is making money off his NFTs, as well as another guy named 90215 Raph. Raph is extremely dope, y'all, because Raph has been flying under the radar these past, I would say, year and a half, right? he's been on it way before me. I couldn't even think of it, right? Raph has created 2 virtual art galleries already. He has an app, right? That's almost like a Pokemon Go thing, but it's really for virtual art. Like, he's really, really dope, and he's been on it. So he's going to be here telling, elaborating as well, letting people know, look, this is how you make money from it, and this is how we keep the money in our family line, and we keep a percentage of our ownings. That's really what this is about, Doc. It's about basically giving artists and people of all kinds a way to make royalties on their creations.
Well, you know what? I think it's great. And everybody who's watching, I'm speaking to Jay Ortiz. Jay Ortiz out of Philadelphia. He's the CEO and founder of Art from the Heart. Which I'm asking him about that now, because any young person in here that's trying to figure out how to get money and how to be successful, you might want to pay attention to what Jay is up to. It's really, really good. And by the way, you can follow him at Art from the Heart on IG. It's right there on the screen. You should definitely follow him. And he's also able to get ahead of the curve. I think this NFT thing is, I think it's going to be big. It's a little bit strange. It's very strange, but when you connect it to the idea of, trademarks and copyrights and ways to determine authenticity, well, nothing's better to determine authenticity than the blockchain. I mean, the blockchain is designed to kind of do things like that, to verify that you own something, right? Like they were talking about putting housing on the blockchain. Because if you don't know this, guys, when somebody buys a house, there's a long process of going through to make sure that the person selling you the house actually owns it, right? You got to pay a lot of middlemen to do that. Well, the blockchain kind of makes it easier, and they cut out that middleman. So that's a really big service provided by the blockchain. So the blockchain, it sounds to me, with NFTs, is being used to verify the authenticity of all kinds of things, not just houses, but art and videos and music and everything else. So you may want to look into this. I think this is going to be something big. And again, I'm invested in Ethereum because of things like this. I'm heavily invested in Ethereum because I believe Ethereum is going to be that crypto that eventually takes over Bitcoin because of ideas like this. Now, let me ask you this question, man. Can you tell us about Art from the Heart? You created something that is extraordinary and awesome and very impressive. And and because most artists, I'm gonna tell you everybody the truth. Most of the artists I know are broke, don't have a clue. Seriously, most of the artists, most of the rappers I know ain't got no money. That
was me though. That was me. That was really me. Yeah, that was me. That's why. Well, I'll let you finish the question. That's why that came about, because you like said I was a rapper. And I thought that rapping was just gonna make me more, or like looking like you're doing music or looking like you're performing here, or right, like you think that that's gonna pay you, but that's not it, right? So you gotta, as an artist, you gotta really figure out what is it, and that was it for me. You know what I'm saying? So, Art from the Heart. My fault. I ran.
No. I mean, I'd like to hear more about it. Because I like them, and I like talking to you and D1 because y'all kind of figured out your business model. You know what I mean? Yep. Like similar to the way Tech 9 did out in Kansas City. Tech 9 was, most people don't even know who Tech 9 is if you're not into hip hop like that. But Tech 9 probably makes 10 to 15 million a year, and he built that whole model just kind of like from scratch, ground up. It wasn't corporate, and so Art from the Heart's impressive because you were able to get a really massive following, and a lot of artists wanted to be involved with what you were doing because you were actually kind of like doing a Pied Piper thing where you were actually showing the artists, how to get in spaces where you could get your shine and still make your money. Can you talk about Art from the Heart, what it is, and the thinking behind it?
So for me, thank you for that introduction, right? Because coming from you, right, we talking a master of money right here. So if you telling me that I'm onto something, yeah, that's what I'm in the right path. But for me, Art from the Heart was more of it was necessary for me to keep going, for me to be seen. I just to give you a little bit of my background, I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. I went to Howard University in DC. I've always wanted to leave Philly, right? It's always been a lot of killing, a lot of just bad stuff going on that I didn't want to be around. I come from a teenage mother and a father who, was in jail for murder, right? So I've always been like, I gotta get out of here. I left the DC, got out of there. As soon as I graduated, I moved to LA. And when I moved to LA, man, it was like my mind opened up so crazy. I was in Philly, and a lot of the people I'll be around would tell me like the dreams I had was weird or too big or right. And then when I get to LA, I'm dreaming too small. Like I'm thinking of I'm thinking, look, just to give you an example, I'm thinking about a Benz, they in a Lamborghini, right? Like it was just different thought processes out there. So being out there let me really understand it was real. So I started taking my artistry a lot more serious, a lot more, and I just started dedicating my life to it. And I moved back to Philly about 3 years ago, and it was the most depressing thing ever, Doc. I'm from LA. I'm out every night. I'm meeting this person, that person. I'm connecting. I'm building. And I come back to Philly, Doc. I'm damn near depressed. I'm like in Philly. I don't have these friends, Doc. I'm hanging out with, your favorite star on Friday, and I come back to Philly and Doc, there's nothing going on. Like I'm talking about, none of my friends are doing nothing. And I'm not to say that none of my friends that I grew up with are doing anything, right? Because they doing their thing, but we don't do the same thing, if that makes sense, right? So none of my friends had my mindset. I didn't have no artist friends, nobody to be around. So I felt like, well, I'm in Philadelphia. I want to take some time and really build this, right? How can I build a community of people that I want to be around? Like, how can I come home and make it productive? I felt like every time I come home, it's somebody dying, somebody going to jail, right? But now when I come home, it's productive, Doc. I got people, my space right now that I'm in, I'm meeting with people every day. I got different people, our magnitude right in here. So the way it came about, Doc, was I started doing these shows. And when I got back to Philly, I was like, look, nobody cares about rap. Nobody wants to be at an open mic, right? Open mics are regular. How can you make this different? How can you make it different? So I had a friend who was body painting. We incorporated that together. The only thing about me and him was he was a star already. So he wanted to be like, he kind of wanted to be a little just me and him type thing. And I was like, nah, like this is a community. This thing could be, right? It could be the biggest thing ever if we just open it to the community. And that's what I did. I started recruiting painters. I started recruiting designers. I started recruiting artists. Mind you, these artists wouldn't even do a feature with me at the time. Now they calling me to perform on my platform, right? Like for real, they would not even answer my phone call. But when they heard about the show, it was like, yo, Jay Ortiz, my boy, yo, can I do that? When I realized that, Doc, I'm like, yo, I'm so much more, like I'm in demand right now. Like literally, I went from nobody giving a F about what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, what I'm performing, nothing, right? To boom. So once I did that, it was something different. People never seen it before, especially not in Philly, right? And I was able to make this thing go simultaneous, Doc. So it's almost like a controlled circus when you're in this show. It's like a circus. It's literally like you got performers up here. Imagine performers you actually know their names. Then you got artists that you've never seen, but they look so many amazing things. You got sculptures, you got NFT art, you got body paint, you got people painting cars, painting murals. It's all kind of, you got hairdressers doing hair, you got people painting with fire, right? You got hula hoopers. It don't matter. Whatever you could do, I'm letting you do it. You feel me? And the fact is, I'm letting you do it at the same time. Nobody's bigger than the other, and I'm able to bridge the gap. A lot of people that are stars in their own right, whether you're a rapper, a painter, whatever. The people that are stars, they're like, I don't know. It's sometimes like it's hard for them to want to be in a room with people that aren't quote unquote on their level. I'm the bridge gapper though. I get people with that ego to come right down and be with the real people. You know what I'm saying? And I get the people to feel like they can be up there with the people with the egos. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm important, Doc. You feel me? I'm that man where it's like I'm able to bridge that level of person with the beginner and make everybody feel equal. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Art from the Heart is about. No one is better than the other, but we are all great as one. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I love that. I love that. I mean, that's right at the core of the B1 philosophy. I mean, that we must be one to be successful. So I love that. I think it's great. And I hope everybody will join in congratulating this young brother on his success. I mean, you got to be happy when young people are building something and creating something powerful. So just say, throw in some words of encouragement, because I can only imagine, I know the challenges that happen when you're trying to do something positive and you get so many people that just do crazy stuff and don't like what you're doing and all that, but you're overcoming that, man. I love it, brother. I think it's excellent. So, all right. So, one of the things that you mentioned that I thought was really interesting was you talked about something I've seen this happen 1,000 times where the people who used to not even pick up the phone when you called them, suddenly they're begging for a phone call. They begging you to call them back. And I know that's got to be like, the best feeling in the world, because I've gone through that, right?
It's a great feeling, but I'm learning not to be egotistical, because I was using it to my advantage. Like, I'm not calling them.
Well, as long as you know what it is, and it's and I agree. I mean, there's some people who genuinely want to connect with talented people, and then there are people that want to connect with people that they think are on their level or above. Like, can you get me to the next level? And that's it. And I'm not a big fan of that. I kind of think if you have power in your purpose and your passion and your platform, you don't really need to connect with people that are already put on for you to blow up and do well. I know personally, I never gave a damn about trying to get a celebrity to talk to me or whatever, because I felt like in my house, I'm like, I got a lot of things they ain't got. You know what I mean? I just need time to show the world what I can do. And then eventually that's what happened. Eventually, all those people that I wouldn't have been able to reach were all reaching out to me. I can't think of any celebrity that I've ever actually tried to get in touch with. Every single one of them reached out to me. Every one of them, right? And that's what happens when you're doing your thing and you're doing it well. Your light is gonna shine. You're like, nobody can ignore the sun. The sun's in the middle of the solar system shining. Go ahead.
I can't portray like I'm the most smartest man ever either, though, right? Like, I have people like you that I'm able to call on a daily basis and and ask questions. Every 29-year-old entrepreneur can't call Dr. Boyce Watkins and ask him a question. So I'm also blessed and highly favored. You know what I'm saying? This is a long time of listening to people. I'm listening and actually following the right guide, right? Like, I've been mentored by some real dope people. My mom, right? Like, I've had some people in my business life that have really led me in the right direction. They've let me mess up, right? Because everybody has to mess up. But I've been able to be steered in that right direction. And I've never been too far off the entire time. And I think this is, and I think you could tell, right? You've known me about five plus years now. This is my calling.
Well, everybody that's listening should go check out some of Jay's music too. He's super creative, super energetic, super intelligent, by the way, very, very, very smart. Also, you have a great sense of fashion. You always, every time I see you, you never look the same.
Shout out to be yourself. Shout out to uni. You know what I'm saying? I never wear nothing. I never wear
nothing. Talking
about. And one thing Doc will tell you is I'm always gonna look like money, but I'm never gonna have nothing on that you won't see in the stores. I'm not gonna give my money to Gucci. I'm not gonna give my money to Louis. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some sneakers here and there, but nah, man. Everything is black owned. Like I said, shout out to uni. They coming out. Be yourself. They'll be in my fashion show on the 26th. Everything is black owned. Everything is team art from the heart.
I love it. Put a B1 in the chat to tell him that you agree and you like what he's saying, because I know I like it a lot, man. So let's go in one last direction, man. So in terms of, first of all, when you talk about getting that power from your platform, and that's something I always said to artists, whenever I talk to D1 or anybody, D and I don't ever talk about music much. The music is gonna come. There's a lot of talented artists out here, and it's hard to compete on talent. You know what it is? It's almost like when it's almost like a woman that's trying to compete for a man, but she's competing based on something like sex.
Or looks, right? When it's like
sex or looks, like looks, like that's everywhere. There's pretty women everywhere. There's naked, whatever. Like, that's everywhere. You got to compete on a level where you have the ability to have some uniqueness, right? This is what in marketing they call this a blue ocean versus a red ocean. A red ocean is like where there's so many fish in them, the sharks are eating up all the fish that the water's bloody red because there's so much chaos and so much competition. The blue ocean is clear, like there's no competition there, right? So to me, the artists that I've seen that do well are the ones who say, yeah, I can make great music like everybody else, but then they'll do something like a little bit different, like they'll take the off ramp and they'll take like the business approach. Like D1, I don't know how much money he's made. I never added it up, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me if D's made $4 or $5 million as an unsigned artist. Like he turned down the chance to sign with Lil Wayne's label. Like Cash Money begged him to sign. He said no, thank you. Right? You got to have a lot going on to do that. And I know same thing with you. Like with Art from the Heart, what I saw what you had, right? And I said this is very creative. People like it. you know, you monetize this, right? You can kill the game, like murder the game with this, right? So at that point, it's like, I think you go, and you can tell me just your thinking on this. I'm gonna give you like kind of a broad thought. I'm not even gonna ask a question. I'm just gonna lay out a thought. But if my thinking was, okay, we know the art is there. We know the creativity is there. I mean, and it's not just the music, it's fashion, it's art, it's, you know, John, was it not John Legend, John Bourne, is that his name?
John Bourne, my brother.
Yeah, John Bourne. I mean, all that's there. Like the cool factor is already there. But there's a lot of people that know how to be cool, right? But and you're the best at that, right? But then it's like you nail down the business side, you murder the game. You nail down the business side, like, okay, how do we monetize this appropriately? You absolutely murder the game. And then not only do you murder the game economically, but you become a power broker, because now you have access to something that every artist needs, which is monetization and distribution. That's the hold that the white man always had on us. You know, we got the talent. We know black people are the most talented people in the world. We have no shortage of talent. You go to any church and find the next Whitney Houston in church. You go to any corner, you find the next Drake on that corner. You know what I mean? Like we got the talent, but white folks controlled the business side. They controlled the distribution. They controlled the monetization. That's the piece that black people have to understand in order for us to really control and own our talent and our capability. What are your thoughts on what I just said?
I think that, you know, one thing I will say is nobody in the business side is not going to be a lot of people looking like me when I walk in and do the business, right? They're not looking cool. So that was kind of what I got over. I was like, that's not the important part anymore, right? You can still do it, but you got to do the business. Yeah. And I think that's really it. People have to take time to, you have to just take time to really do your research on what the business is, on whatever it is you want to do. And if we're speaking entertainment, yeah, man, like every creative, and I was one of those, right? And I'm only saying this because I really was. When I first started, I just was like, I want to be a rapper. I don't care. Let me get a manager. I don't want to read anything. I don't want to do anything. Like, I just want to rap. That does not get you anywhere. And I think a lot of people, artists, same thing. I don't want to do anything. I just want to paint. You throw my shows, you do this, you book my gallery, you put me in hotels, you put me in, right? And you put me in the airport. That's not how it happens though. You usually get a manager after they see you doing something. You know what I'm saying? So business-wise should be the first. I think that's where I'm coming. That's what we need to teach creatives, right? We need to normalize business sense in creatives. We need to normalize business first, right? A lot of people want to, let's work together, let's do it. But then when stuff comes out, it's nothing in writing, and you're getting mad, and you're mad at the person who did business right. Right? Like when, I'm sorry, give me a second. Ambulance going outside. But yeah, so those type of things we need to change. And I'm here to take a stand for. That's what I'm gonna do the panel with you, and these discussions. And I have a whole space, guys. Like, this space is beautiful. It's a stage back there. We're able to do so many things, and I'm going to do so many things to make sure that artists are learning the business side, because it's that important. I have a Dr. Boyce, that I can call. I have a Mr. Kenny Gamble. These are all men that have made money doing what they do, right? So why wouldn't I bless the city with that and allow people to come in here and talk to people like that? And we got to do panels probably once a month, but it's got to be real questions, you know what I'm saying? Real answers to people that have really done it. And yeah, when it comes to creators, we got to normalize business first. I don't think that's normal though. And you in the hood and you learn how to paint, or you learn how to sing. They don't say, oh, well, let's go get your music registered. Nobody says that. Everybody like, I'm gonna put you in the studio. Let's shoot a video. Nothing's registered, Doc. Nobody made any money. The manager, nobody, right? Nobody made money. So let's normalize business first. I think that's the best way for me to put it. Normalize business first. So no matter how creative you are, if you don't have a business sense, you're gonna be broke. And if you're not broke, you're gonna be broker than you should be. Meaning somebody's gonna be taking a lot more money than they probably should if you just paid attention.
Yep, that's right. That's right. You got to know the business side, and it's I mean, there's 1,000,001 stories about artists who claim to have been exploited, who claim to have been victimized. And it's not to say that they weren't victimized. Maybe they were, but in order to say that that every so-called victim was an actual victim, you had to expand the word victim to make it very broad, right? So what do I mean by that? It means that if you give me a contract and I sign it and because I want to be a signed artist, right? And you told me, you say, hey, make sure you read your contract. Here's everything in black and white, and you say, okay, give me the contract and I sign it. Then I guess you could, and let's say it's a horrible contract. Let's say that I'm paying you for the next 30 years because I signed that piece of paper. And then I say, well, I was victimized because I did all this work and they kept all the money. How do you, it's hard to really talk about that without saying, okay, what's really going on here? Like, so for example, when I saw Megan Thee Stallion was complaining about her contract, I was kind of like, okay, what exactly happened here? Like, did they force you to sign it? Did they do what Suge Knight did with Vanilla Ice? I don't know if you ever heard that story. I don't know if you old enough to remember. Suge Knight held Vanilla Ice out the window by. Yeah, did that happen? Did they hold you by your ankles out the window, make you sign it? Did they? Okay, no, they didn't. Okay, check. Did they? Yeah, did they say, if you don't sign this, I'm gonna cut your throat? No, they didn't. Okay, check. Did they give you the opportunity to read it? Was the contract written in invisible ink? Like, like at what point? Like, again, a lot of times people say I'm a victim and it's like I'm a victim because I'm black or I'm a victim because I'm a woman or whatever. And that word is used, but there's no scrutiny there. There's no sort of conversation to say what's really going on here. Like, and I say that because I know people that sign bad contracts because they just don't even want to read them. Or because they're so caught up in wanting to perform, they're not understanding that there's a business side to that. If you remember the movie Straight Outta Compton, there's that one part of it where Jerry Heller was like, okay, I got these dudes. Like I'm gonna get them. I know they need money. So what I'm gonna do is buy them all a Corvette or a Lamborghini, whatever the car was, $50,000 car or something. And I'm gonna give them a check for 80 grand and I'm gonna get them to sign their whole life away. They're gonna make a deal with the devil. And he put that contract in front of them. Everybody signed except Ice Cube. Ice Cube said, I'm not signing this. I'm not signing away my future in order for me to have a deal with you. Right. So I think that's something I would encourage artists to kind of understand is that business is a competition. Business is war. Business is like a basketball or football game. If you play in a football game, the other team is not going to give you points. It's not their job to score touchdowns for you. Right? You have to score your own touchdowns. You got to play your own defense. And if you aren't prepared to do that, then you're probably not going to win the game. Am I being mean when I say that? Like, how hard or should I say, oh, you poor baby, they should be just give all their money away? Like, what answer do you think people are looking for in those situations?
So I honestly think that, in like a Megan Thee Stallion's case, I'll say ethically, the lawyer was wrong, right? Ethically, right? But as you said before, this is war. And I don't think people understand that. When you're doing business, it's war. This isn't play Mr. Nice. This is not that. And I think that's what it's portrayed. Like, people think that business is just easy. Like, we just do it. That's cool. But if we have more people like you and myself, that's like, look, this shit is war. Real life war. Like, I'm the general right now. We at war. We need that service before they get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people get that. But if they did, they would do their research. So in Megan's case, I don't consider her a victim, right? And I'm only saying that because of a entrepreneur who has diligently done his research in anything he's ever got into. Like, I've just signed my first music artist, right? I talked to my lawyer. Period. Right? It's not really no ifs, ands, or buts. It's lawyer reads the contract, lawyer sends back the negotiations. Right? It's a simple joint. I would never have just did it without just making up something and just writing it in. Right? That's not how it goes. I read it. I don't care if it's 40 pages or 2 pages. I'm gonna read it because it has something to do with my future. You will read a book for school, right? Them books be 500, 600 pages. We gotta read. You do the whole social studies book in social studies class. Y'all done read 400 pages by the time the year is over. You can't read 40 pages that's going to actually affect your life. It's laziness at this point. It's what it is. Because if you're not reading something, like, I don't know no better example to give, but like, when you got to read to get into an apartment, you got to read to buy a car, you got to read to buy everything. So why wouldn't you read you got to read when you work at McDonald's, you got to sign a contract. So you don't got no excuse at this point to not understand that in order to have any type of employment, you got to read. Like, do I feel like she's a victim? Hell no. She didn't read.
Well, you know what? The other thing that can happen sometimes too, and this is just me. You know, I guess me talking to you and anybody listening who wants to be a boss, because you are a boss. You know, you're there. People answer to you. You know, you call the shots in your space, and I respect that so much, man. I think that's going to be great for you long term. You know, is that what happens too? I'm sure a guy like a Jay Prince down in Rap-A-Lot might, you know, have these kinds of issues, etc. Is that, you know, when you sign an unsigned artist, right, and nobody knows who they are, right? So you ain't signing Megan Thee Stallion, you signing Megan Smith or whatever her name was. I don't remember what her last name was, right? Yeah. So that person, and it's not about Megan. This is really just using it as an example. That person is like, I want to get a deal. I'll do anything to get a deal. I just want to get put on. I just want to be famous. I just want people to hear my music, whatever, right? They're not thinking about like, well, what if this thing really blows up? What's this going to look like economically? They're just saying, I just want to be out there, right? So you bring them in and you say, okay, I'll sign you. Here's a contract. And then what happens is that the boss, which would be you, makes all the investment. You're pouring money into the artist. You're pushing the artist out there. You're putting out hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars on a hope and a prayer. Like you're throwing damn near a Hail Mary to some extent because you don't know if this artist is going to blow up or not, right? So let's say you put $1 million behind this artist and then the artist blows up and you say, great, you blew up. And then on the contract, you got to say, I don't know, a 50-50 deal that says if you blow up, we split the money down the middle. Well, then what happens is when the artist blows up, all the people who didn't give a damn about the artist, who weren't willing to back the artist at all, are all suddenly wanting to jump in the mix, right? So now all these people are calling your artists, you know, who never would have talked to them when they weren't famous. But now that you've made them famous, now everybody's checking for them, right? And they're getting in their ear like, well, you deserve that money because you're the star. I mean, what's the label doing? Like you don't need them. You don't need them. You got all the talent, right? And the artists, if they're not business savvy, they'll start feeling that. They'll be like, yeah, I got the talent. I'm making all the music. I'm the one going on tour. Why should I give you any of the money? You're exploiting me, right? And it's like, but you weren't really saying that when you were begging to sign that particular contract. And I think that becomes the huge dilemma. This is true all throughout entertainment. Like if you go back 100 years to when, if you read How the Jews Invented Hollywood, that's a book I have all the students in the Black Business School read because I want them to understand how you build a $1 trillion industry from scratch. They went through the same thing. Like the CEO of MGM, well, he was so pissed off because he said, I would go grab somebody who's homeless on the street, who's begging like just to have a chance to eat. But I would see something in them and I put them on and invest in that person. And then suddenly they become a movie star and they don't want to take my calls anymore. He said, I'm done creating movie stars. He said, the only famous person at MGM is going to be that lion. You know, the lion that roars. He said, Leo the lion will be the only celebrity that we create at this studio because you create celebrities, people's egos get real big. So anyway, I'm just sharing that story. I don't even have a point. Like I
wanted to speak on that before you got off the topic.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I think that network is very underrated. And your network in a deal is very underrated, I feel like. And I'm gonna tell you why, right? I think that people, and I'm talking about with artists, right? Because I've dealt with this shit. I can tell you this right here. Like I feel like when you're giving someone your network, right? They're not really understanding that, yeah, you have talent, bro. No problem. But would you have been on American Idol? No, right? Because I put you there. So if that's like, for instance, I don't know, Michael Jordan, right? If he never touched the basketball, right, then you don't really know what he could do. I'm with the artists, we're giving them the basketball. They have the talent, which is fine, but if you don't know to play basketball, then it's the same thing. You don't know to be on TV. You don't know to go on tour. You don't know to have this feature with this famous artist. You don't have you don't know or have the means. So we're providing this, which is meaning, where's my cut? What is that value then? Is that network not 30%, 40%, 50%? Because I look at it as an artist, right? if I don't I'm just giving an example, right? This is not I don't sign to no label. I'm doing my own thing. But say I sign to Atlantic and they want, I'm not saying they were getting they want 40%. But now, right, they're getting 40% out of what might be 10 million as opposed to me making 100 grand by myself. People not understanding that. I just made 20 million with them now. Right? And I'm saying that, and I'm in the label position right now. So at Art from the Heart, you just made 20 million with Art from the Heart. Take Art from the Heart out the situation, you made 2 million. So you're telling me you don't want 60% of 20 because you want 100% of 2?
Yeah. Well, what it is it's really just, I mean,
they had messed up. It's like percentages when you read it, it looks crazy, but it's not what it really is.
Well, you know what I suggest to anybody who goes into partnerships with people is two things. One, don't be greedy. You know, like don't start measuring your success economically based on whether you got all the money or just some of the money. Try to prepare your mind mentally for the idea that, look, if we're all getting money together, then we should all be happy together. Like, because being together is how you make money. Networking together, partnerships, unions, groups. That's why relationships are so important. Relationship management, just knowing how to nurture and build and maintain relationships. That's why I talk about relationships a lot, on this platform, is because that's so important. The second piece is that when you're talking about building and investing with other people, check the personalities of the people that you're working with. If you go into business with a narcissist who wants to have it all, who thinks that they did it all themselves, who doesn't have the right spirit, that's just as important as knowing whether they have the talent. And I learned this because I put some people on. I've helped some people get out there, and then so you have some really great people I can say, hey, I played a part in helping them get out there, like Vicky Dillard, or what's that, Victory Boyd, who sang in my wedding. She's
going crazy.
Man, Victory is a beast. Her family, amazing, man.
I met Victory in Louisville at your the All Black National Convention.
Yeah, bro. Victory. She wrote 3 songs on Kanye's last album. She's Alicia said she was on an airplane, and on American Airlines they had all the Victory songs on American Airlines, right? So she's killing it, right? And the sweetest person in the world. I mean, sweetest family, good people.
Yes,
and never forget where they came from. But then you have some people that unfortunately are on a different extreme, on a different part of the spectrum, where you look back and you say, man, like, that saying where they say you should have never gave that dude no money, like, because they're gonna go Antonio Brown on you. You know what I mean? Like, just literally, like, I did it myself. I didn't need nobody, F everybody. So I really think, just as general business advice for anybody, is when you work with people as business partners or just partners in general in your life, your friends, your relationships, check people's spirit and look at how they treat everybody. Look at not just how they treat you, look at how they treat their enemies. Look at how they treat people that they think are less than them, right? If you see somebody who's crapping on people they don't need, they're going to eventually crap on you. If they're not nice to the people that they don't need, like, watch how they treat people where they don't have to be nice to them. And those are the people that I tend to want to be around, is people who just, as a fundamental rule, treat everyone with decency and respect. Other types of people, you got to avoid that. I don't care how much money you can make, because it's all eventually going to blow up anyway if they have the wrong spirit. Did you have any response to that, and then also any parting thoughts before we finish up?
So really, for me, one thing I will say is everything you said was absolutely correct. But what I will not warn people, but what I will try to motivate them with is, if you're going to run into some people that are like that in business, so don't be afraid to love or to have a partner, or you know what I'm saying, like, to have a business partner, because the first one did that or the second one did that. You got to kind of let that go, because I've had about 4 or 5 people in my life that have gotten to where you would probably know their name at this point. And I've definitely, helped, right? Like, that's just what that is. But some people would be like, nah, you didn't, or, you know what I'm saying? Or they got different when we got there. But that doesn't stop me from building a platform for other people, right? Because now me doing what I did, all right, I see the results in my vision. But now I got art from the heart, right? If I would have been like, man, fuck that, I ain't doing this no more, I ain't helping nobody else, then I wouldn't even have thought of art from the heart, because I'd have been all about myself. So just understand that in business, no matter if you have a partner or you have people that you deal with, you don't have to like nobody to make money with them. And if somebody is to do you dirty, that does not mean everybody is the same. Because as I said before, do not block your blessings by being angry over a situation that is over, right? Like once the past is in the past. So just keep your eyes open, like Doc said. Make sure you are checking the people and the energy of the people you're working with, but do not let one bad apple spoil the whole bag, because as I said before, do not block your blessings. Like that is what helped me to this day. Like literally having these people get to where they at, having them front or whatever the word is nowadays, right? I was like, that's perfectly fine. I kept going in the same light, the same manner, the same everything I'm doing. And look, Doc, now I got a place where I'm putting people on and everybody knows it, right? Who going front right now when you expound that art from the heart, right? Who put you on at this point, right? If you did anything at art from the heart and you got big from art from the heart, it's not a secret no more, right? But that's because I didn't get malice. I didn't get upset. I just was like, I'm gonna keep doing me. My time is coming. You know what I'm saying? That's really it.
There you go, man. Well, you position yourself well as a power broker in your field, and you've got your NFT art show coming up. Give everybody the information on that in case they want to pop in Philly. It's going to be in Philadelphia, and they can follow Art from the Heart. Everybody who's watching, go follow Art from the Heart on Instagram. It's not FROM, it's FRM the Heart. Okay, so it's right there on the screen. Go ahead, give them the information about your event.
All right, so really quickly, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all. Make sure y'all follow me at Jay Ortiz 215 on Instagram, at Art from the Heart, right there on the screen. This Sunday, June 20th, up until the following Monday, June 28th, I am doing the soft opening to my first ever art gallery, y'all. We are doing an NFT art show, which will be Philly's first ever NFT art show. But to the people that do not understand how big this is, I've been doing Art from the Heart for the past 4 years. I've done over 65 shows all over the world: Philadelphia, LA, Tokyo, Japan, London, England, all over the world, you guys. And I am now, this is the first time that I will be able to have my own location. All right, I've been building and renting out locations for years. So this is our first time we'll be able to have our own space to do different things. So in this gallery, you'll see NFT art galleries, you'll see art lessons, all types of different things going on. So the 20th is the grand opening. All right, that's going to be in Philly. You can get the tickets in the Art from the Heart bio. The 22nd will be the panel discussion with Dr. Boyce, Zevi, and 90215 Raf. Y'all can get y'all tickets at Art from the Heart. Link is in the bio. The events are free. All right, please come check us out. And then if you want to come check out an experience, the following week on the 26th, we're doing our Art from the Heart hip hop versus R&B experience, where there'll be live performances, body paint, fashion shows, vendors, just a really dope experience, along with an art auction as well. So I want to leave this podcast saying rest in peace to my cousin DJ. He just passed away last Monday, so it's been a week today. It's been a tough week for me. Doc knows better than anybody. We gotta stop the senseless killings in the city, and just period. As Black people, we need to love each other. We not each other enemy, right? Like Doc, you're not my enemy. I'm not your enemy. None of y'all watching, we not each other enemy. We really gotta love each other. We gotta make this a safe space for. I'm trying to make. I'm in North Philly right now, so I'm trying to make this a safe space for families to be able to feel like they can raise their children. My aunt, prayers to Stella and my uncle Doozy. She didn't want to have a funeral because of fear that there will be more killing at the funeral. So to have fear that more people are going to die after you just lost your son, and for that to be a reason for you not to want to have a certain type of celebration. I mean, we can't get no worse as a community. So like I said, please stop the senseless killings. I lost my cousin, my road dog. So RIP DJ, and thank you, Doc, for giving me this platform. Make sure y'all check me out, Art from the Heart Gallery and Art from the Heart Recording Studios in Philly.
Yeah, man. Shout out to DJ RIP, and actually on my Instagram, everybody, I put a little video tribute. You guys did a great tribute to DJ, and
that was from the release. That was on Friday. That was his funeral, y'all. We wasn't able to do something because, as I said before, his mom did not want to do that, and his mom's wishes are the most important. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to share that. Actually, I'm gonna share that real quick. So give me 1 second. I'm actually just kind of lay that out so everybody can kind of see who this brother was and see how he was loved by so many people. And so here's a little tribute real quick. I can't turn the audio up, but you can see all the balloons.
Oh, it's cool. You can see the love. It was there, y'all. It was there.
There you go.
1, 2, 3.
The whole block came out for him, so.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. It was small, turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, that love will never get lost. And when brotherhood comes first, and the light will never be lost. The stars is still on our own, that line had to be drawn, and that.
Thank you for that, Doc. We appreciate you putting him on your platform. Look, he didn't deserve to go out that way, but I mean, look, I think the celebration and his going home party was the best we could have did for him. So I appreciate you for bringing some light to his situation. And once again, let's stop killing each other. R.I.P. DJ.
R.I.P. DJ Stanton. So everybody say R.I.P. DJ in the chat. Or was it DJ Forever? Was that the hashtag?
Forever. That's DeJuan Stanton, DeJuan Jenkins. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
You got the DeJuan Stanton Jenkins. You know the whole family name, but yeah, good person, great person. Didn't deserve it. And, I hope that we don't have to take any more losses like this ever again.
Well, that's the crazy thing. I just wish we didn't have so many people that enjoy watching us take each other out, man. It's very depressing to watch. Not
to get too deep into another convo, Doc, but they do that. They portraying this on social media and on TV. So it's gotta start within the home, within the household, of what we allowing our kids to watch, what we teaching them, what we feeding them, right? Everything counts. Everything counts. So it's really up to us to understand that what we seeing out here is not made for us. It's not made for us to be successful. It's not made for us to be on top. It's not made for us to be owners. It's not made for us to be leaders, right? You got to really lead your own tribe. And it starts at home. So, when you turn on the radio, it's music because they want you to kill yourselves, right? When you turn on movies, it's gang war stuff because they want you to kill each other. The people that run these TV stations, these radio stations are Jewish, right? Or white or whatever the case. They're different. They're not. They're
not us.
They're not us. Thank you, Doc. They're not us. So their goal, and I'm not saying every person, every white person, no, nothing like that. But those people at the hierarchies in Hollywood, they're not trying to see us prosper. So don't listen to none of the shit that y'all see out there. Create your own content, create your own vision, run your own tribe, lead your own tribe. You know what I'm saying? That shit is important. That's the only way we're going to change the narrative because they're not going to change it for us.
Yeah. It's it's real. It's a terrible culture, and as as much as it starts definitely from white supremacy, it's real hurtful when it comes from your own people. When you see your own people that would rather fight, would rather take each other out than to actually figure it out and build together, man. And that's the part that just I don't want no parts of none of that stuff.
Yeah, I want to help. I want to help the community. I want to feed the souls, man. I want to really help and change the energy around here and just in Philly, period. I don't want to stay here too long to the point where it's like I should have left, right? Because I always told DJ, like, yo, DJ mom moved. DJ could have left, right? But DJ loved his block, he loved his folks, he loved his people, so he stayed around a lot, right? I don't want to feel like that either, though. I don't want to be like, damn, I should have left it. But I do got to see change here before I'm gone. I got to. It won't sit right with me if I don't. So I got to figure it out. But that's what Art from the Heart is about. That's what this gallery is going to do. Because I'm in Brewery Town, Doc, right? This is what they call it in Philadelphia. It looks like a gentrified upcoming area, but this is the hood. It's black people and people from Philly from the 60s living around here. This is a black neighborhood. Now they're trying to change it around, but I want them to understand that we still around here and we giving off a different energy. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, and I can't wait for you to get here, for you to see what I.
Yeah. Well, the way I see it is, if you're there and you care about the black community, you be one with it, then that's always the hood. I don't care if I'm on Mars. If I'm on Mars and I'm being black on Mars, then Mars is my hood.
So I have one question for you, because you travel a lot. Why don't they call like Ladera Heights and shit like that the hood? Or do they call it the hood actually?
I don't know what Ladera Heights is. What is it?
Ladera Heights is like when you in LA and we're right off the airport. It's right near Inglewood, but it's like these little hills. It's like it's damn near Baldwin Hills. It's just like that. But it's all black, but it's all rich as hell. But you never really hear them like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the hood is associated with poor and black, and as far as, and I just kind of think that that's a false narrative that, that because you're black, you're only authentic if you're poor and if you're struggling, and if you're going through all kinds of unspeakable misery and all that. Like black people, it's okay for black people to be happy. Like it's okay for black people to say, I've broken my generational curses. I'm going to do better. Mm-hmm. And I know that that's not popular. I know that and the thing is that that's not popular. That's why I don't want to be popular, because I don't want to fit into. I don't want you to think I'm fitting in with you because I'm as miserable as you are. I want you to come fit in with me because I'm happy as fuck.
Yo, there we go.
Let's go be happy together. Let's not, like this whole doom and gloom thing, man. It's like, nah, man, it's not supposed to be like this. None of it. And we can't perpetuate that.
I ain't even been listening to rap, and I rap. I ain't even been listening to rap, man. I've been like really in a different. I signed the artist, y'all, so make sure y'all follow him at Pretty Boy K1. He just dropped a song called Scandal. It's not hip hop, right? We going urban pop. We going feel good, love music, right? Like I had to change my whole everything. I do yoga in here, right? This is a yoga studio in the morning. So I do yoga every morning. Like it's that deep. It's like it's down to the music, to what I'm watching, to what I'm eating. Yeah, it's gonna feed that energy. So yeah, I don't want no parts of it either, Doc. I'm over it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
DJ that was like my last straw though. Like, but I was over it before that. Cause I told you I was always trying to leave, but like I'm done. I'm over it. Like that was the last straw.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, so that means his life is teaching us a lesson. So everybody go out here and live. Let's stop feeding death to our community and destruction and chaos and all that. Let's seek something better. We can do better than that. So it's good talking to you, man, and good luck with the studio and all that. Keep us posted. I'm gonna bring you back, and I'll be on that panel, which is happening in the toward the end of June. And if anybody wants to follow along or get information, go to follow Art from the Heart on Instagram. It's all right there on the screen. So everybody, this is Jay Ortiz. Hit the thumbs up button. Give this brother a digital round of applause for the great work he's doing. And you guys have a great day. And you take care of yourself, brother. Good to see you, man. All right, homeboy. All right. Peace.